What is that?
Dinosaurus. Biggest carnivore the world has ever seen.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most enormous dinosaurs in history, taking into account overall weight, length, stature, and also how cool they are.
It's only in recent years that we have unearthed the biggest dinosaurs that ever lived.
Number 20, Mapusaurus. After a bone bed was discovered in Argentina in the late 20th century, the Argentinian Canadian Dinosaur Project carried out an excavation. One of the fossils that was excavated, belonging to Mapusaurus, became considered the longest fibula bone of any meat-eating dinosaur.
It was clear that giant predators roamed South America as well.
Mapusaurus was classified as a carnivorous theropod. Members of the theropoda clade had hollow bones and 3 toes and claws on each limb. Mapusaurus, relative to other theropods, was huge. It is estimated to have measured up to 36 to 40 feet long, with a weight of up to around 11,000 pounds. Besides being big, evidence suggests they hunted in packs.
A giant killer that appears to hunt in gangs. And more than capable of taking on the very biggest dinosaurs.
So not only did they outsize many dinosaurs, they outnumbered them as well. Number 19, Triceratops. This 3-horned herbivore reached 26 to 30 feet in length and weighed between 13,200 and 26,400 pounds.
Many different species of dinosaur live in forests. Triceratops, one of the biggest in North America.
In addition to that, Triceratops had an enormous head that could reach nearly 1/3 of its total body length. Notably, hundreds of Triceratops skulls have been discovered and later analyzed by paleontologists. The largest of these known to date is the MWC 7584, which was estimated to have measured 8.2 feet long when fully intact. That's over half a foot more than the height of the tallest ever NBA player. The horns on that big head were sizable as well, approximately 3.3 feet long. Based on research, the Triceratops may have utilized them in combat, including against the mighty T-Rex.
Here we have one of the greatest predators nature has ever produced and one of the greatest defenders nature has ever produced, sparring off with some truly awesome weaponry.
Number 18, Supersaurus. There's a reason its name translates to super lizard. 2 discoveries of Supersaurus remains in particular have helped paleontologists gather a sense of their substantial size. One of these includes the big fella known as Jimbo at Wyoming Dinosaur Center.
Wyoming Dinosaur Center's most massive occupant is Jimbo, a Supersaurus discovered near Douglas, Wyoming.
Due to its unthinkable length of 106 feet, Jimbo the Supersaurus spans across basically the entire main exhibit hall. One estimate based on other Supersaurus remains suggests the species could reach 128 feet in length.
Jimbo himself is only about 50% complete. What you see on display up here is actually just a replica. It's not real bone.
In terms of mass, Supersaurus likely could have weighed within a range of 78 to 88,000 pounds. When it comes to its formidable physical presence, it truly was a super lizard. Number 17, Giraffatitan. After having previously been considered a Brachiosaurus by some paleontologists, subsequent research of various dinosaur bones suggests there was a distinct species called Giraffatitan. This sauropod is in the Guinness World Records, as it was named the tallest mounted dinosaur skeleton in the world. It can be found at Berlin's Natural History Museum. Although reconstructed, 65% of the skeleton bones are original. Based on research of the largest known specimen, Giraffatitan could have reached approximately 52 feet in total height. Its remarkably long neck is a major reason for that. Hence the giraffe in Giraffatitan. Mass-wise, it could have weighed between 88 and 106,000 pounds. Number 16, Diplodocus. Originally, the length of this plant-eating sauropod was estimated to reach up to 171 feet long, although more recent and revised studies say that that was a stretch. Still, Diplodocus was indeed immense, likely ranging somewhere between 85 and 110 feet long.
She is one of a great family of dinosaurs called the sauropods that dominate this period in Earth's history. They are the largest animals that will ever walk the planet.
One famous specimen of the genus, befittingly called Dippy, is located at Carnegie Museum of Natural History in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Its length is measured 95 feet, and it weighed an estimated 50,000 pounds. However, when it comes to the diplodocus species as a whole, there have been varying findings regarding weight. Either way, this relatively well-studied dinosaur is one of the longest dinosaurs ever documented, and it had one of the longest tails ever, reaching 43 to 45 feet.
Saved by the huge tail of a larger diplodocus.
Number 15. Pseudoloncosaurus. With a name meaning giant chief lizard, Pseudoloncosaurus was just that, giant. While originally estimated at a length eclipsing 100 feet, more recent estimates have ranged between 79 and 98 feet. In terms of weight, there have been a wide ranges of calculations. Most noteworthy research places Pseudoloncosaurus between 66,000 pounds and 110,000 pounds. One fascinating discovery of this long-necked species is that it had massive hips with a width of almost 10 feet. The amount of physical evidence of this monumental creature is impressive as well. After unearthing Pseudoloncosaurus fossils in Argentina in 2000, researchers called it, quote, the most complete giant dinosaur known so far. Number 14. Tyrannosaurus. After groundbreaking excavations were made east of the Spanish capital of Madrid, Tyrannosaurus became known as the largest dinosaur ever found in Europe. Studies indicate that it reached between 69 and 98 feet in length and between 66 and 110,000 pounds in mass. Original estimates suggested this gigantic sauropod could have possibly reached 120 feet in length, and it's no surprise that its bones were huge as well. At the time of its 2004 discovery, the humerus belonging to Tyrannosaurus was one of the biggest ever recorded, close to 6 feet in length. If that's taller than your entire human body frame, you're not alone. Number 13. Shantungosaurus. Members of the hadrosaurid family of dinosaurs were known for their duck-like builds, and Shantungosaurus, which was discovered in China, was the largest such known species. Magnapolia was another huge, cool-looking hadrosaurid, but evidence suggests it wasn't quite as big as Shantungosaurus. Besides its robust build, weighing around 28 to 36,000 pounds and measuring between 48 and 54 feet, Shantungosaurus also had extremely potent jaws. The big mouth of the flat-headed dinosaur housed approximately 1,500 teeth. This giant also had a heavy tail and lengthy, brawny legs. A composite skeleton can be found inside the Chinese Academy of Geological Sciences in Beijing. Number 12. Brachiosaurus. Thanks in part to its disproportionately long neck, Brachiosaurus could conveniently reach leaves to satisfy its hunger.
This is Brachiosaurus, a 13-meter-high sauropod that specializes in grazing on the treetops.
In terms of total length, Brachiosaurus has been estimated to reach between 59 and 72 feet. A 1900 finding in Colorado helped spark extensive research, leading to significant conclusions about the genus. 12,500 pounds of Brachiosaurus fossils were transported as part of that groundbreaking expedition.
These adults weigh over 70 tons.
Astoundingly, just its heart was estimated to have weighed several hundred pounds. Brachiosaurus, which makes an appearance in Jurassic Park, likely weighed between a total of 62 and 104,000 pounds, according to several studies. Number 11. Puertasaurus. Despite the fact that very few Puertasaurus fossils have been found, many scientists believe it was one of the largest dinosaurs in existence. One respected estimate suggests the specimen could have reached 98 feet in length. In terms of weight, most paleontologists believe that Puertasaurus likely reached over 100,000 pounds. However, once again, the evidence for this dinosaur's gigantic nature is lacking compared to some other dinosaur species. In fact, the information is derived from a scant 4 bones that belong to a single Puertasaurus. Still, the research tends to point to the likelihood that Puertasaurus was one of the most enormous dinosaurs to ever roam the planet. Number 10. Sauropods. In a 1994 finding, large fossils analyzed by a group of scientists struck them as too big to belong to an animal. Thus, they initially hypothesized that they were tree trunks. However, they turned out to be the bones belonging to the mighty Sauropods. Also known as the lizard earthquake god, it's believed that Sauropods was so large that its steps could make the ground shake. It towered above its surroundings. With its neck extended, scientific analysis suggests it was able to reach 54 to 59 feet above the ground. That would make it one of the tallest dinosaurs ever. Moreover, paleontologist estimates slot Sauroposeidon between 89 and 112 feet long and in the range of 88 to 132,000 pounds. Number 9. Gigantoraptor. Utah raptor warrants a mention here, as it is the largest raptor to have ever existed. But we're giving the nod to Gigantoraptor, a larger bird-like dinosaur from the Oviraptorosaur family. It's estimated to have been more than 16 feet tall and weigh over 4,000 pounds.
Gigantoraptor was discovered in 2007 in the Gobi Desert of Mongolia. The sheer size of the bones revealed it was unlike anything found before. 8 meters long and weighing around 1.5 tons.
Based on those measurements, one might assume that this big creature wreaked havoc on its fellow dinosaurs, but this may not have been the case, as a fossil of its jaw revealed that it actually had no teeth. Since its initial discovery in 2001, the Gigantoraptor has raised more questions than it has answered. But we can say one thing with certainty. It's the biggest known bird-like dino discovered so far in history. Number 8. Titanoceratops. Another massive dinosaur that lived during the late Cretaceous period, the Titanoceratops is one of the biggest horned dinosaurs ever. This beast weighed approximately 15,000 pounds and measured roughly 22.3 feet from head to tail. Adding to both was its massive 8-foot head. Although it isn't known for sure, it is likely that this massive head helped make males more attractive to females. You know what they say about a male Titanoceratops with a big head, don't you? No? Us neither. But we do know that with its discovery, the Titanoceratops also claimed the title of oldest Triceratopsine. Number 7. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Although it is no longer considered to be the world's biggest carnivore, the T-Rex remains one of the biggest theropods and apex land predators ever, which makes it still the king of the dinosaurs in the eyes of many people.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. An animal to spark the imagination for all of us.
While sizes vary, the T-Rex could reach up to 40 feet in length and a height of approximately 12 feet, with the largest examples weighing roughly 30,000 pounds. One of the most fearsome predators to ever live, the T-Rex also scavenged when the opportunity presented itself.
T-Rex has the most powerful jaws in nature and can bite with the force of over 5 tons.
Due to its popularity, it is one of the few dinosaurs that the public refers to by its proper scientific name. Number 6. Paralititan. Little is known about this dinosaur due to limited fossils, but based on the size of its humerus, Paralititan was by far one of the biggest sauropods to ever walk the Earth.
This is Paralititan, a 45-ton animal, and the undisputed heavyweight here.
This behemoth was roughly 85 feet long and weighed over 110,000 pounds. And yet, we would still be ignorant of its existence were it not for a fortunate mistake. Paralititan's discovery was announced in 2001 after a grad student named Joshua Smith and his team got lost during a 1999 area survey. Despite its enormous size, this herbivore was likely hunted by large predatory dinosaurs, though taking it down would have been no small feat unless a group of predators worked together.
A predator always looks for the easiest kill, the weak, injured, or young.
Number 5. Giganotosaurus. With a name like Giganotosaurus, you know this dinosaur is worthy of a spot on today's list. Etymologically speaking, the name is inspired by ancient Greek and translates to giant southern lizard. Another monster to live during the late Cretaceous period, its exact size has been difficult to determine, although estimates believe that it weighed up to 26,000 pounds and may have been over 40 feet long, making it bigger on average than the T-Rex. It could also reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, which is truly remarkable when you consider its size. Number 4. Dreadnoughtus. Discovered in Argentina in 2005, it took paleontologists 4 summers to excavate the Dreadnoughtus's remains, thanks in part to the remote location, but also because of its enormous size.
Titanosaurs, 85 feet long and weighing 40 tons.
It is likely that this dinosaur weighed about 130,000 pounds, making it heavier than 4 T-Rexes combined. It was also over 85 feet long. Although it isn't the biggest dinosaur to ever live, it has been called the terrestrial creature with the largest known mass.
The Titanosaur's immense necks are supported by an ultra-lightweight, air-filled skeleton.
Furthermore, the actual skeleton of Dreadnoughtus is one of the most complete dinosaur skeletons of its kind to ever be found. Talk about a massive find! Number 3. Spinosaurus. It's hard to imagine a dinosaur that is both bigger and more vicious than the T-Rex, but that's exactly what we have with the Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus. At 17 meters, the biggest killer ever to walk the Earth. An 11-ton colossus.
Estimates have the Spinosaurus weighing up to 40,000 pounds and reaching up to nearly 60 feet in length. Evidence suggests that this dinosaur lived both on land and in the water, and may have even targeted the Sarcosuchus, an extinct, ancient, and giant crocodile-like reptile.
Sarcosuchus, a giant 12-meter crocodile.
The Spinosaurus even briefly stole the spotlight from the T-Rex when it served as the main villain in the third Jurassic Park film. Number 2. Patagonian. Paleontologists estimate that Patagonian, which was found in Patagonia, Argentina, reached somewhere between 102 and 131 feet in length.
This Titanosaur is a really huge animal. It's over 120 feet long.
The Titan aspect of the name alludes to its extraordinarily great strength and size. On display at the American Museum of Natural History is a 122-foot model of Patagonian based on an impressively extensive collection of 84 fossil pieces. In terms of weight, researchers have estimated that this particular specimen, which wasn't even done growing, weighed over 140,000 pounds. Relatively speaking, the completeness of Patagonian's fossil remains exceeds the level of many other similarly long-necked dinosaurs. With that in mind, scientific analysis firmly points to the strong likelihood that Patagonian was indeed one of the very largest dinosaurs ever, if not the largest.
Patagonian is one of the most complete of those. So many of the other giant titanosaurs we only know from relatively fragmentary evidence, so a couple of bones here or there. But for Patagonian, they found over 280 bones at the site.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Argentinosaurus. We looked at a number of different factors when putting together this list, but the top spot could only ever go to one creature, the biggest dinosaur believed to have ever lived, the Argentinosaurus.
From the bones that were found, we've calculated that Argentinosaurus was a colossal 35 meters long and weighed as much as 75 tons.
Scientific estimates suggest that the Argentinosaurus weighed up to 200,000 pounds and was over 115 feet long. To put this beast into perspective, consider that one of the dinosaur's vertebrae was over 5 feet tall. It also laid eggs comparable in size to an American football.
When born, the hatchlings themselves weigh a paltry 5 kilograms and need to fend for themselves immediately.
Luckily for all other dinosaurs, the Argentinosaurus was an herbivore, although we can only imagine how much vegetation it needed to eat to survive. Let us know in the comments what your favorite dinosaur is. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.